There they are. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
All right, you guys, today we are gonna be redesigning movie posters. We're gonna take some posters from some classic movies, reinterpret them in our own artist style, and in the end, we're gonna come back together and show off what we made, and it's up to you, the viewer, to vote on the winner. There's a poll over on my post tab. You vote, you decide who wins this thing. And I have 3 epic artists here today to compete in this art battle. First up, we have Monkey Mouth Art. How's it going, man?
All good. Just came home from work. I'm in Copenhagen.
Joining us all the way from Denmark. Up next, we have Kate Dehler. How you doing, Kate?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So hyped to have you here. Your artwork is epic. And lastly, we have twkchin. How you doing, Tiffany?
Happy to be here.
You guys, all of these artists are absolutely legendary. All of their social media stuff is down in the description. They are just like S-tier artists. I am so excited to see what they're gonna make for this art battle. All right, you guys ready to jump into this battle?
Let's do it.
All right, let me bust out the wheels of doom. Here we go. And the first wheel. Boom. All right, on this wheel is a bunch of movie directors. And these, when we land on a certain director, that is like the film catalog that we can select our movie from. The only one that is not a director is this one that just says A24, which is like the entire A24 film collection. So that's pretty epic too. How are you guys feeling about these directors?
I recognize Spielberg.
So many different aesthetics and visual inspirations to go from here.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely a huge Kubrick buff, so that would be a preferred director.
All right, let's find out what film catalog we're gonna be working with. What's it gonna be? Paul Thomas Anderson. Are you guys familiar with those movies?
Not really, no.
Nope.
We got Boogie Nights, we got There Will Be Blood, Punch Drunk Love. He just came out with a brand new one with like Leo DiCaprio. I can't remember the title of that one right now. Oh, Magnolia, but he's definitely a legendary director.
Oh yeah, There Will Be Blood.
I don't think I've seen any, actually.
So that's the film catalog we're gonna be working with. And then lastly, we have the random object wheel. We're gonna spin this wheel 2 times. Whatever this land on, we have to figure out how to work some random object in a big or small way into our art pieces, into our designs. Cool?
Love it.
All right, the first object shall be fire.
Should be an easy one.
All right, next. Whoa, oh no, my wheel broke. Oh dude, I think it snapped. All right, I'm gonna have to duplicate this real quick live. All right, the next object shall be rose. Dang, this is starting to sound like some like 90s hair metal vibes for sure. Niclas, are you like a big movie guy?
Yeah. Would not like popular superhero Marvel movies, but more like old school Clockwork Orange-y, weird movies.
Kate, are you a big film buff?
Love movies, yes.
Have they ever inspired your work before?
Yeah, definitely. When I was starting out, I used to draw while I was watching movies and like sometimes get inspired by a scene or something like that, yeah.
I know you have some big clients. Have you ever done anything associated to the film industry?
I haven't. That would be cool.
Maybe this will be your foot in the door.
Yes, launch me.
How about you, Tiffany? Are you a big film person?
I actually don't watch movies at all, so
what?
this is gonna be a challenge. But I love challenges.
Well, you got to dive in. All right, so we got Rose, we got Fire, we got Paul Thomas Anderson. Now it's time for all of us to go design our posters, and I will see you at the final reveal call. Good luck.
You too.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, research time. Paul Thomas Anderson movies. Hard 8, haven't seen that one. Boogie Nights, definitely seen that one. That's a good one. Magnolia, that's a good one. Boogie Nights and Magnolia are both very large ensemble casts. Punch Drunk Love, absolutely love this movie. One of my favorites. There Will Be Blood, probably the best Paul Thomas Anderson movie. The Master, just bangers. Inherent Vice, I haven't seen that one. I also haven't seen Phantom Thread. Licorice Pizza, I've seen that one. And then One Battle After Another. This one is still in theaters right now as we do this battle. So, time for me to watch some movies.
Okay, so we're brainstorming for the movie poster, and we're assigned Paul Thomas Anderson. And the problem is, I don't watch movies, so I have have no idea who he is. I'm brainstorming some movies that PTA is known for, and I came up with Boogie Nights, Licorice Pizza, and Punch Drunk Love.
I think I'd like my poster to focus on one movie and get at the core of the movie's overall mood. And I think I'm gonna start with the type because I like to anchor a poster that I'm doing with typography in the beginning and let it determine the composition and just the overall aesthetic.
Okay, so I've been researching all of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies, and it turns out I do know the movies, but I haven't seen a single one of his movies, which makes this challenge pretty difficult because I have no idea where to start.
There's definitely some sort of 1970s inspiration behind my work, so I'm probably going to lean towards Boogie Nights and Licorice Pizza.
So I was looking at some images of 1970s posters and children's books, and I really like how they take themes of the ordinary and depict them in like a simple but dynamic and interesting new way.
So I just finished watching Boogie Nights, and it's very reminiscent of Saturday Night Fever, so I really have to channel some John Travolta disco situation, somehow incorporate fire and roses, which might be difficult.
Had it been any other of the directors, I would have chosen a movie like instantly. But his stuff is so dark and so serious and about corruption and human nature, and it's a very difficult director to work with. I think I have to think a bit outside the box because I like the weird stuff, the colorful pow stuff, but I think I have a good idea how to tackle this.
So I think I'm gonna do, maybe we'll have head emerging from some sort of surreal scene. I feel like a road should be involved. He's on a journey, and we've got the rose and fire to work with, so there's a lot to draw from for that.
Here are some of my notes that I made while watching the movie, some of my typography ideas, and also some of my chicken scratches.
Okay. So, here's my idea. There Will Be Blood is an awesome movie, probably the best Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I love Punch Drunk Love, that's one of my favorite movies. The Master's really good, but I think the movie that has the most fun visual aesthetic is probably Boogie Nights. The 1970s bleeding into the 1980s, the adult film industry of that time. Really cool color scheme, really wild. There's a lot of super funny moments, there's a lot of super dark moments. So I think I'm gonna take Boogie Nights, and then I had the idea of making it even more crazy, even more fun to draw by doing Boogie Nights of the Living Dead. So basically everyone in Boogie Nights is gonna be a zombie based off of the 1960s movie Night of the Living Dead. It's fun kind of like smashing two movies together. So that's my plan. There's a lot of characters in Boogie Nights. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to include every single one on the poster, but I think it'll be cool to do like an ensemble composition, and all of these characters are zombified. So I'm gonna get sketching, and hopefully I can make something cool out of Boogie Nights of the Living Dead. In Procreate, I set my canvas to 18 by 24. Then I decided to start by designing my font for the poster. This is gonna be the base for my whole design. And now that I'm sketching, I can sketch right over the top of this font to make sure that my design and layout work well with these letters. I started with the iconic character of Roller Girl. She's gonna be the centerpiece to my poster design. And of course, I had to zombify her. The star of the show in Boogie Nights is Dirk Diggler. That's Mark Wahlberg's character. It's actually really fun to kind of like try to draw a portrait of somebody, but also zombify them and cartoonify them. And it gives you a lot of creative liberties to not have it look exactly like the character and just have it be like this decayed version of them. Niclas, how you feeling about the prompts Fire and Rose? What do you think?
I've done a lot of heavy metal shirts and cover artwork and stuff. So fire and roses are not like, I'm not a stranger to those subjects at all. So it should be doable, I think. Yeah.
What about you, Tiffany? Do you usually lean towards fire and roses in your artwork?
I do draw a lot of flowers and fires, so it's going to be interesting to intertwine them with the movie.
Kate, what do you think about these prompts?
I like it. I've drawn a lot of fire, a lot of flowers. I like to take something dark and do kind of like a bright spin on it, little juxtaposition. So I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Sketch review. Let's take a look at what I drew. Boogie Nights of the Living Dead. Okay, so this is what we got. I'm really glad I started by doing the font first so that I could have my characters like interact with the font and stuff. In the center here, we have Roller Girl. What should her zombie name be? Roller Ghoul. Roller Ghoul. She's got her roller skates on, got the eyeball hanging out of her eye. It's so much fun drawing zombies. Over here we have Dirk Diggler. His zombie name can be Grave Diggler. Got his gravestone here. We got this arm kind of popping out from the ground, going in front of the knights here. Lots of fun masking, kind of just blocking out these letters to let the illustration interact with the font down here. This is Burt Reynolds' character. What was Burt Reynolds' character's name? Jack Horner. His zombie name will be Jack Horror, obviously. His hand is kind of coming towards the foreground. He's got a little bit of his brain exposed. His nose is kind of rotted off. This is Lillian Moore's character back here. Her name in the movie was Amber Waves. Oh, Amber Graves. Yep. This is John C. Reilly's character, Reed Rothschild. Maybe Feed, because they feed on your brains. Feed Gothchild. And he's holding a torch, which involves fire. And in the original Night of the Living Dead, the zombies could be like scared off by fire. So I don't know how much sense this makes because zombies are scared of fire. He does have like the biggest, widest jaw of the whole thing. So maybe he's screaming in fear that he's holding this torch. It's so fun doing all the exaggerated cheekbones and just crazy mangled teeth and like long jaws and the bones exposed as the flesh rots off. So fun to draw. So glad I went this direction. And then this is Don Cheadle. His character was Buck Swope. How do we make that zombieified name? Muck Grope? I don't know about that one. You guys can let me know in the comments if you can think of a better zombie name for this guy. We've got gravestones here. And then I was just gonna not even draw the flower of a rose because all of these guys rose from their grave and I was like, oh, that's clever. But then there's like tombstones and gravestones and they're in a graveyard. So like people lay roses on a grave. I was like, I could just leave it at that and be clever, but the roses make so much sense for the composition. So there's a rose here and there's a rose here. Boogie Nights of the Living Dead. So that is my sketch. Now it's time to ink this. I want to try an inking style with like lots of heavy blacks, reminiscent to comic book styles of the 60s and 70s and the horror vibes. Like I want to use a lot of shadows. So I might do like the main inks on one layer and then bring in even heavier inks on another layer and just see if I like it. I don't know. We'll see how it actually like looks when I do it. I don't have a lot of experience inking in that way, but I think it could be a fun new style to try. The only way to find out is to just get inking, so that's what I'm gonna do now. While I get started inking this illustration, I'm gonna let you know this video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is a website where you can build a website. They make it super easy with their amazing templates where all you gotta do is drop your content into their beautiful templates and you got a website, baby. Plus, with new amazing features like Squarespace Payments, your online shop can accept payments right away and even allow for more payment options like ACH, Apple Pay, Klarna, Afterpay, and more. Plus, with invoicing, scheduling, design tools, subscription products, and more, you have everything you need to share your vision with the world. So go to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And then when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/1000 for 10% off the first purchase of a website or domain. Okie dokie, so these are my inks. I'm super hyped on this style of inking. Lots of heavy shadows. I mean, a lot of my shadows are just provided by the dark lines, which is such a cool style to me. It's something that I'm not super familiar with, but it's definitely harkening back to like Jack Kirby, or I have this big thick book of like old horror comics, this collection that I was using for inspiration, comic book style inking, the very heavy shadows, and it fits so well with this like horror zombie vibe. Like this is with that heavy inks layer turned on, and this is just like regular inks, and you can just see such a big difference. I think it looks so cool. This is looking cool, but what are the other artists gonna do? I put some absolute heavyweights in this battle. I like my design a lot. I definitely like tried hard on it and worked hard on it, but I know that these other artists are just like so legendary. And all of this may be for nothing. I mean, it's not for nothing, because art is fun and drawing is cool and making a cool design is dope. But pulling out the W in this one may be one of the hardest things I've ever done, and I don't have a lot of faith in myself. But now the tricky part of figuring out my colors. How much do I lean into the 70s aesthetic, the color palette of the film? How much do I lean into the zombie aesthetic? How much do I just do my own thing and choose colors that I think are just cool? It's gonna be a balancing act, but I think adding colors to this design is gonna be fun and challenging, so I'm gonna jump into that right now. Inside of Fresco, I set my inks as a reference layer, grab my paint bucket tool, and just start playing around with filling in colors.
Like this.
With my color scheme, I'm trying to stick to like 6 to 8 colors to give it that silkscreen poster vibe.
Switch.
It also helps keep it more vintage feeling with the limited color palette. And if I'm lucky and I can finish this in time, I might be able to make actual silkscreen print posters out of this design. Do I usually draw creepy zombies and horror themed stuff? No. Do I usually draw crazy caricature portraits of movie characters? No. Do I usually draw big boobies and round booties, even if they are zombified? No, I do not. But this project is super fun. What a fun concept. I am just having so much fun making this particular art piece. There's just like so much room to play.
Like this.
Okay, so these are my colors. I went with a limited color palette, that vintage movie poster vibe. Got some greens, got some yellows, got some reds. Now, these colors, it's like ballparkish, you know, like inside of Fresco, it actually takes a little bit of time to kind of fill in each individual colors. You gotta use your paint bucket tool and kind of like tap on each section you want colored. And then if you change your mind on a color, you literally have to go around and tap everything all over again. So what I do is I like find something that's good-ish, completely color my whole design, and now I'm gonna shoot it over to Illustrator where I can like really sit there and tweak the vibes of the colors. And once that this file is on my computer, I can sit there for hours and just decide on some like final colors. In Adobe Fresco, I hit the export button, then select open a copy, then select Illustrator iPad. It opens up in Illustrator for iPad. I make one small meaningless change and then hit save. Now this Adobe Illustrator file is gonna sync to my Creative Cloud. Then a bit later, I open up Illustrator on my desktop and my file is waiting there for me. If I were to export straight out of Fresco to Illustrator for desktop, sometimes it just takes like a super long time. So I do this workaround with Illustrator for iPad. Okay, now that my file's in Illustrator, I'm gonna play around with some colors. I hit A on my keyboard to get my direct selection tool. Then I'll click a color I wanna change. Then I go to select, hit same, then fill color, and now everything with that same fill color is selected. I hit Command plus H to hide these annoying lines so I can actually see my color. Then I jump into my swatches and start experimenting with colors. I can spend hours tweaking different colors and playing around with color schemes. I just keep repeating this process over and over until I've found the 8 colors that work well together and look nice for this design. This process is super easy in Illustrator, and it's one of the main reasons that I actually use this program. Once my colors are all good, I'll shoot it over to Photoshop for my final tweaks. Inside of Photoshop, I need to make my font match the rest of my colors. I need to tweak these credits down here to just have lots of 1000 references. And I've known since the very beginning I was gonna play around with some background stuff once that I got into Photoshop. I like this eroded texture and using the negative space in the background to kind of emulate a giant full moon. And with that, I think I'm done. Okay, Boogie Nights of the Living Dead poster design is done. And the final reveal call is just around the corner. But behind the scenes, I hit up my boy Patrick at PINE PRINTSHOP and I said, dude, I need a miracle. Can you silk screen print me these 18 by 24 inch posters? By the way, I need them in hands by November 20th. Super rush job. The guys over at PINE PRINTSHOP said, we got you. And even though the timeline was super tight, they got these things silk screen printed for me, made the screens, mixed the inks, meticulously screen printed each of the 8 colors one at a time. Silkscreen prints are just like second to none. And huge shout out to Pine. They didn't ask me to do this, but they are awesome. They print all of my t-shirts, my hoodies, my posters. They do my hats. They do like everything for me that they can do. Their quality is amazing and they're just like super great to work with. They're super cool people. So yeah, they didn't ask me to do this, but if you want to print any merch, any t-shirts or posters or anything like that, check out PINE PRINTSHOP. Tell them I sent you. They do awesome work. But the posters look like this. Look at these colors, baby. 18 inches by 24 inches. Super thick paper. Put this up to the mic. Oh yeah, that's the sound of thickness right there. The details are crazy. I just wish you could see it in person. It's just different in person than on camera, even though it probably looks pretty good on camera too. So this is my poster design. And I actually ordered a very limited stock of these. There's 300 available. They're on my website right now, 10hun.shop. 8 colors, silkscreen print, super thick, high quality paper, hand signed, hand numbered, and I always do this to myself, but I release new things while I'm having a sale. My Black Friday sale is going on right now, so these will be discounted right at launch. I'm an idiot. If you spend $49 or more, you get 10% off. If you spend $99 or more, you get 15% off. If you spend $149 or more, you get 20% off. Plus, if you spend $99 or more, we're also gonna throw in a free signed 11 by 17 mystery print with your order. So you get a free gift on anything over $99. The Black Friday sale, get the new limited edition silkscreen print poster and get a discount at 10hun.shop. But this is cool, but those other artists are cool too. And I think we can unequivocally say that this competition is absolutely stacked. How will this live up to my competitors? But let's jump on that final reveal call and see what these other artists made. Oh, there are my fearless competitors. I'm so excited to see you guys. Oh, I can't wait to see what you made. Let's just dive right into it. In this bucket right here, I have all of our names. So let's find out who is gonna present their artwork first. Ooh, the anticipation. We have, oh, it's me.
Ooh.
Okay, so I guess I'll just show the art. I don't need any preamble. I made this. I did Boogie Nights of the Living Dead. I smashed together. And this is a silkscreen print poster. It's 8 colors.
Very nice.
I like how it's bursting out of the frame.
But yeah, I got my roses down here. I got the fire on the torch that he's holding. And I just wanted to do like limited color scheme, vintage vibes, heavy shadows, Boogie Nights Monster Edition.
Very nice. That's that's a hard one to top. Perfect that you started, so the rest of us will look. Yeah.
I highly doubt that. So that's mine. Oh, and down here in the credits is just a ton of silly references to myself and my team. This was super fun for me, taking the vibe of Boogie Nights and 70s and the adult film industry, and then just smashing it together with like B-movie zombie films is like, what could be more fun to make?
It feels like it really works. I also love the hand coming up in front of Knights. Like, there's so much to look at.
Yeah, the very first thing that I did was just do like the font. And I brought that font as like a PNG into Procreate, and then I drew right over the top of it so that my characters could be like intersecting and intertwining with the font as much as possible.
Yeah, it's like nestled within her butt a little bit.
Well, you know, it's like the porn industry, so I'm like, we can be a little risque with this design for sure.
Totally works.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with that. So that's mine. I am very excited that I got that out of the way, and now you legends can just go ahead and flaunt hella hard. All right, the next artist shall be, who's it gonna be? Niclas, Monkey Mouth Art. Let's go.
Normally my stuff is very colorful and very neon comic, all over the place with a million details. Paul Thomas Anderson, he doesn't seem like a very fun guy. Some of the scenes are very like, oh, frogs are falling from the sky. Like, okay, that's fun, but also super weird in a very dark, weird movie about human relations. And so I had a really hard time coming up with anything because it's not very colorful. So what I did was I actually chose another director. I didn't choose another director as such, but I chose another Anderson, Wes Anderson. So I did a Wes Anderson version of There Will Be Blood. There Will Be Blood in moderation.
That's gorgeous.
So I went with some Grand Budapest Hotel sort of colors.
Yeah.
And then actually, if it was darker and it was more like gloomy, it could be a poster for There Will Be Blood. But this is the Wes Anderson and not Paul Thomas Anderson. So it's Paul Wes Thomas Anderson.
The double Anderson.
Yes, the double Anderson.
Did you know that my last movie poster art battle, it landed on Wes Anderson?
Yeah, I saw that. I was so fucking jealous. I was like, that should have been this one because it would fit right up my alley color-wise. So yeah, instead of like a deserted oil rig, whatever place desert it takes place in, I did a little rose flower thing. And of course, huge fire because an oil rig thing. So yeah, that's my Paul Thomas Wes Anderson poster.
The design is so clean and it focuses the eyes so well, and the color scheme is like so poppin'. You know, it also like just very slightly, if we're gonna just mash up one more movie in there, it reminds me of Wizard of Oz with like the field of poppies that Dorothy walks through. But yeah, that is just so proper as far as like an iconic image.
I tried to keep it simple also because right after we had the first call, I got a commission in for 35 illustrations. It's like, okay, how can I make this powerful but still pretty simple without losing my mind?
Yeah, for me, it starts at the front with the larger roses, and then it kind of recedes into pink. And then to me, I think of it as just like all the roses being funneled up through the oil rig and then like exploding into the sky.
The asymmetrical composition is just beautiful. It's so striking. I think it can work as like an official poster if there were ever to be a mashup.
The in moderation thing is so funny because like the original There Will Be Blood, there is nothing in moderation about Daniel Plainview. He's like the least moderate character of all time.
Yeah, I tried to come up with like a fun Wes Anderson-y like parenthesis thing, like There Will Be Blood, perhaps, maybe, or but ended up in moderation because
That's sick. I love it. Oh man, that's so tight. Tough act to follow. Okay, that was epic. The next artist is Kate.
It's me. All right, I will unceremoniously share my screen.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I did one battle after another. I haven't seen it. I watched the trailer. I would like to see it. It's really long, but I wanted to, like you, started with the type. So I wanted some big, bold type, and I had the idea to intertwine the rose with the type. It's a film also about a journey, so I wanted a sort of fraught, interconnected, weaving the rose in there. And then I used the flames and the fire directly with the rose, maybe a little tension between like love and destruction. And then we've got Leonardo right there at the top, our main character, kind of looking into the fire. And yeah,
so
that's what we
dope.
got.
Nice.
Your style is just so clean and simple but beautiful, and like I love the textures that you use.
Yeah, I really like the big letters just slapping you in the face. Yeah, very nice colors as well.
What's the deal with like the purple road and the green car? Is that something from the trailer, or is that just like, this will look cool here?
The plot of the movie is like, I don't know, he got in trouble and then his daughter was kidnapped, and so he's kind of on this journey to go rescue her. And yeah, so there's a lot of like driving in his car and going places, and it's also just symbolic of his journey.
Can I ask how you got the gradient in the background? It's so clean.
I don't know, it's just a Photoshop gradient,
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a texture.
Oh yeah, I put all the textures on top afterwards.
That's awesome. I just wish so bad I've seen this movie.
I think it's fun to do something that you haven't seen before. And honestly, like I've done book covers and stuff where I have not read the book. But a lot of these things like the rose and the flame and like, I don't know, a lot of things you make are like for people to interpret and to put what they see onto it, so.
Very, very, very cool. I love your style so much. That's very dope. I guess I don't need to pull Tiffany's name from the bucket because it's the only one left in there. How do you feel right now going last?
Everyone's work is just so good. I'm kind of nervous. So I got a little nervous when you started off with Boogie Nights. I wasn't sure how I was gonna fare against you. I want to focus on Mark Wahlberg, the main character's desire to become a star throughout the movie. So I want to emphasize the star motif, kind of like stairway to stardom kind of situation. Flames and roses in the background are kind of symbolic of passion and chaos, volatility of the adult film industry. Just try to have fun with it.
That star entryway looks like you're walking into the club from that like opening tracking shot.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was going for, like the whole doorway situation.
That's so cool. The halftone shading on the depth of the stars on the border is like so sick. It's like halftone, but it's like not clean halftone. Did you hand make that halftone, or did you like take some halftone and then embellish it, or is it literally stippling?
No, it's just a texture.
That
Just a
looks so
lot
good.
of different textures.
That is so awesome. And the colors
Very
that you
nice.
chose are like so perfect for the movie too.
I love the frames you often use in your work. They really like anchor the composition and make it look really distinct.
The composition is so good, so clean and mirrored. I love it.
Are you just toggling off and on symmetry mode constantly?
Yeah, basically, pretty much.
You're like the queen of symmetry mode.
It's like a little cheat code.
And the perspective too of like those tiles on the floor. It looks so hand illustrated and like mathematically precise simultaneously. Gorgeous. Oh, the fire in the corners is really cool. I'm like, there's so much details to look at. I'm still like discovering stuff. Imagine a club where that was the real entryway. That would be so fun.
And then it was Boogie Nights of the Living Dead inside.
It's where you like hunker down for the zombie apocalypse. Wow. What a legendary battle. You guys all absolutely destroyed it. Incredible pieces. And now it's the super difficult part. You guys watching have to vote on the winner. Is it gonna be Niclas? Is it gonna be Kate? Is it gonna be Tiffany? Or for some reason, is it gonna be your boy 1000? You gotta go over to the poll on my post tab. You vote, you decide the winner. But the real winner is all the people watching, discovering these new amazing artists. Down in the description is all of their social media stuff. Definitely go give all three of these artists a follow. They do super dope work all the time, and they made some awesome art for you today, so go show them some love on their social media. You guys, thank you so much for doing this. It's been really awesome.
It's been a pleasure. Fun project for sure.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm 1000. Subscribe, like. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Can you take me higher?